Hey guys, Dylan Allen here, NowEnduranceCoaching.com. This week's training vlog. Hey guys, before we forget, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys don't miss any more of the training vlogs. And that way you also get the training talks and demos and stuff that comes out later in the week as well. So, moving on to the last week, I do my weeks Monday through Sunday. Um, Mostly, it's just kind of the way I've always done it, honestly. My week starts on Monday. Um, and it just happens to work out. That's how Strava set up. So it works out. Um, but last week was a little bit of a down week. I was kind of anticipated originally doing my down week this week. But with hot weather rolling through and 14, 20 days in a row without a rest day, by the time we got to yesterday, Sunday, I was pretty cooked. Um, and I woke up and I just wasn't really. I almost felt like I had a hard time catching a full breath. I was tired, and so I was feeling that base training we've been doing is finally catching up. So it's time for a rest day, and I'll listen to my body. But if we go back to the beginning of the week, we started with now Monday. We started with just tried to get an easy 6 in. I finally found the Huckleberry Trails after living here for 2 years. It's like a mile and a half from my house, and they're great trails for walking on. I don't know if I'll use them again for workouts. Just they're just not long enough to really go run on for me. They're extremely well maintained though. I mean, I think it'd be a great place to go for a walk, but I don't think it'll work very well for workouts. But I unintentionally got in some more hills than I meant to. Um, just getting 2 Huckleberry Trails. There's a really big downhill from my house, and then another big uphill. And then after getting like half a mile there on the Huckleberry Trails, I popped back out to the road, and I was running on the just on the roads in the neighborhood, and it's a fairly hilly neighborhood. This side of Ruston's not exactly flat, and I ended up getting a few more hills in than I meant to. Like I didn't really mean to get a hilly workout in. The next day, I got an easy 5 in. The legs were a little tired from the hill work the day before, but I felt pretty good. It wasn't super hot yet. But I'm starting to feel like I'm getting in shape. And then that afternoon, I went to the gym and kind of did a couple sets of heavy squats and good full body workout. But the big exercises I was doing were heavy squats and heavy rows. I say heavy. The squats probably could have been heavier, but that left psoas was still tight. It's been something I'm kind of working with for like a year and a half or so. And I think I just didn't really take enough time to warm up, and especially after the hills the day before, this is really tight. And so I was noticing when I was at the bottom of the range of motion, that was talking to me a little bit. After the first 2 sets felt fine, so I probably could have done more weight. I think I was only doing like 115 pounds, so it wasn't heavy for 5 reps. But it was nice and slow. By the time I got to like the 3rd and 4th sets, like they felt fine, had great range of motion, full range of motion all the way down, full stop, all the way up, nice and slow. So I'm pretty happy with how the workout went. And then Wednesday morning, we came around and did a set of 6 400s, and it was super muggy out. Luckily, it was the coolest part of the day because we started at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we got an easy mile and a half in to warm up, did a couple striders, and then I did, it says 4 400s, but I did 6 of them. But my splits were all over the place. I wasn't exactly happy with where the splits were, but the last one was a 71. The idea was to try to target 75, and they were bouncing back and forth, anywhere from like 72, 73 up to 76. But that last one, I did run it in a 71, so I was pretty happy with how it went. I probably took a little more recovery on them than I really needed to, and part of that was, Walter, the guy I was doing the workout with, um, he's not quite as fast as me, and so when I'd finished mine, I'd kind of double back and then walk with him. And I'd end up taking about a 200-meter walk on mine. And then he was running a little faster than he wanted to. He was running his like at 85 to 90, and he was wanting to run them at like a minute 40, minute 45, somewhere in there. And so he ended up just doing like a full 400-meter walk on his to recover. So he was actually doing like really fast for him repeats, really high intensity. Now my intensity wasn't quite as high on most of them, but I ended up getting more recovery than I really needed. So I think that's part of the reason why some of mine were a little goofy. Thursday, I was feeling pretty tired after the hills on Monday, squats and the double, between lifting and running on Tuesday, and then a set of fast 400s on Wednesday. By the time I got around to doing my recovery work on Thursday, I was pretty tired. It did rain the night before, that Wednesday night, and so the grass, the loop was super wet. I ended up running most of my run on the track. And I actually got to run with Prasant. He was doing he was working on some pacing. It was a pacing workout. He wasn't trying to run like super fast, but it ended up working out to where he'd get ahead of me on, for 200 meters, and then on his recovery for his 200-meter recovery, I'd kind of catch up to him. And I kept like an easy 7:45 pace, and he averaged 7:45, but he was moving like 5:20 pace on the fast part or something like that, and then slower on the recovery. So it was kind of nice to get some company 2 days in a row. I wanted to run a little further. Like I felt good. I was tired, but I felt good. So I ended up running about 5 miles, just recovery instead of like 4, I think, which is what I originally had planned. And then Friday, we actually had a heat advisory. First day of summer, longest day of the year, heat advisory. And I didn't really get to go run until, I think I got out the door about 9:30. And I didn't get out the door until about 9:30 on Monday too, which I think is part of the reason why I was cooked afterwards. And so I learned my lesson. And this summer, I promised myself I would not be dumb and I wouldn't do the hard runs in the middle of the day, anytime from like that 9:30 to 4 p.m. window where it's really humid and really hot and full sun. So I stuck to my guns and I went to the gym and I ran 4 miles on the treadmill and it sucked. But I was inside, so I didn't get sunburned. It was still plenty toasty, but it wasn't as hot as outside. So while it was an easy run, and my heart rate reflected that, my heart rate stayed fairly low, but my turnover rate was much higher. I normally cruise on an easy day like 160 steps per minute-ish, and I think I averaged like 175 for that run. And so I was kind of afraid the next day that like my calves and my hamstrings would be tired and tight, because it'd only been really one easy day, since having 3 hard days in a row. I didn't feel too bad Saturday morning out at the park. It was really muggy out Saturday morning, even though we got out there at 7 a.m. But they were doing the Beach Festival 5K out there. We had a couple runners racing. We had a couple other runners in the Couch 5K group doing their Couch 5K training. We had Chris, our triathlete, out there doing threshold work and interval work. But yeah, so we ended up having a bunch of people out there doing a lot of different things. And so I ended up essentially getting coaching miles in. I'd run, catch up with someone, cheer them on in the race, then I'd run a little more, cheer on someone else. Meet up with the Couch 5K folks, check their mechanics, see how their workout's going, keep them going on their way. Meet up with the Tuesday, Thursday runners, check how their workout was going, make sure everybody's staying hydrated, make sure everybody's keeping their core temperature down, because it was sticky and hot. And so keeping that core temperature down is kind of important to make sure people are being safe. So I did get to run about a mile with a client of mine that I hadn't actually got to talk to in a while. She hadn't gone out to go run with us in a while, but it felt really good. I got to run with Peggy for a little bit and catch up with her, and that was always good. But by the end of the day, I'd run a little over 4.5 miles. I hadn't done my long run. And I was, at this point, 9:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning, starting to get toasty. So I was like, you know what? I think I've blown my mileage budget, but I need to take Fraser home. By the time I get home, it's like almost 10 a.m. Got some other stuff going on. I'm going to be smart. I'm really tired, and I'm going to not try to get more mileage in today and push it to tomorrow or Monday. And by the time I got up Sunday morning, I was tired. I think I slept 9.5 hours, something like that Friday night. I think I also did that Thursday night too. Um, so I was a little worried maybe I caught a bug, maybe. I think there's been a little something going around. But in retrospect now, like this morning I woke up and my head was full of goop, but my heart rate's been low. My resting heart rate's been low, kind of in the low to mid 40s the whole time. So I'm pretty sure I haven't been sick. I think it's just the cumulative fatigue of 3 weeks of training, in conjunction with the increase in the temperature and the humidity with the onset of summer here in Louisiana. So I took Sunday as a rest day, and ended up actually Saturday afternoon. Went after practice. We went to the pool. So while Strava doesn't show me getting a pool workout in, the point of my pool workouts is to essentially get some release on my calf so it doesn't go into spasm again. And I met that need. I spent an hour and a half at the pool playing with the kids. I went with my daughter, who met up with another dad and his kids, and just playing around with the kids, throwing the ball back and forth, helping the kids with swim technique, swimming a couple 25s ourselves. We ended up getting that need, meeting that need of getting the heart rate up a little bit, getting the calf limbered up, and it felt fine afterwards. It felt awesome. Actually, I was a little worried because I hadn't been able to get that in earlier in the week. So even though Strava doesn't show it, fundamentally, I still got that same training goal met. And I'm not going to bother putting it in because it's not like we were swimming laps. We were goofing off and playing catch and monkey in the middle and swimming and dunking kids and doing all the stuff we do when you got a handful of kids and 2 dads at the pool. So it was a lot of fun, though. Shout out to the Kilpatrick. We should do it again. Yeah, so all in all, we only got about 31 miles in of running last week, a little more than 4 hours. We did only get one lift in, but quite frankly, I don't think I really had the oomph in me to do another quality lift last week, especially with those 3 hard days in a row. And quite frankly, I think you can kind of consider hard hills the equivalent of lifting. They do a lot of the same things. They help develop core integrity, they develop the leg power. So it does a lot of the same stuff as the lifting I've been doing lately. So I don't think I'm missing any stimulus. Instead of doing, 6 easy miles and then lifting, I just did 6 miles on hills and got the heavy lifting in while running. So it was a little more time efficient. But I think it worked for down week. The front end of the week was a little heftier, and the back end of the week was a little softer. And then we took the rest day for the first time in 3 weeks. And then this coming weekend, I'm going to be going camping again in Oklahoma. And I'm anticipating it being hot. And so we're going to be getting there Friday night. I have a feeling sleeping in a tent Friday night, I'm probably going to wake up dehydrated Saturday morning. And so I'm probably, while I could go get a long run in, I'm not sure that it would be smart. After the experience I had in Arkansas a couple weeks back, I'm trying to learn my lesson, being a little smarter. And so today when I went out, originally I had planned on an easy 6. And I was like, it's really cool out today because it rained last night. There's a breeze. We had cloud cover. Once I had a cup of coffee and took a shower and degunked my head, I felt great. So the rest day paid off. So I was like, if I get to mile 6 and I'm feeling good, I'll just get the extra 4 in and do the long run from yesterday that I didn't do, and kind of get it in on the front end of this week and see how that goes. And caveat is here, tomorrow I'm going to have to take it on the easier end because Wednesday morning, 5 a.m., we got 400s again. So stay tuned, catch up next week, and I'll tell you all about today's long run, Wednesday's 400s, and running while camping in Oklahoma. So, until next time, train smart.